Here's Precal. It's CL3-147. It just wants you to divide. So I think my favorite way to do this problem would be to get a common denominator on this second fraction first. So I want my common denominator to be xy. So I need to multiply this by y over y and this by x over x. And I hope you can see that that would just give me y plus x over xy. Okay, so I have that there for you. I think maybe let's get this a little closer so you can see better. There we go. Okay, so that would be my first move. And then my next move would just be, I recognize that y plus x is the same thing as x plus y. So I'm going to flip and multiply, because you know when you divide you can flip and multiply. So all I've done is keep, change, flip. I just flipped it and then I just cancel these out. And the answer is x times y. So that's letter A. So let's do autofocus. Didn't work. Okay, so letter B. Letter B is a subtraction problem. So what I want to do on letter B is to get a common denominator. So I think the common denominator would be x times x plus y. So I would need to multiply the first fraction by x over x. Make a giant 1. And I want to multiply the second fraction by x plus y over x plus y. Make a giant 1. You don't have to draw these. And so what I get here is my denominator is going to be x times x plus y, and it's going to be common. So then this x times x give me x squared, and this will give me x minus y times x plus y. So you'll see that I wanted to figure out, well, there's my x times x plus y, and there's my x squared, and there's my minus sign. And this is where everybody gets confused. This minus sign, I put in some little brackets so that I don't mess up, because you have to handle the minus sign correctly. So I wanted to know what x minus y times x plus y is. And I knew it was a difference of squares, but I'm just showing you how I got that. Okay, so it turns out that these cancel and I just get x squared minus y squared. Now when I distribute, I'm going to have x squared minus x squared. That's going to go away, and then the negative times the negative makes positive. So I'm just going to end up with this, and there's my common denominator, and then these x squareds cancel, and then I end up with this as my answer. And then for the last problem, so the last problem, generally if I ever see something raised to a negative power, I just write it as 1 over, like this will be, I'm going to write that as 1 over x cubed, and I'll probably put the 3 on top because 3 times 1 is 3. And I'm going to write that as 1 over x squared. So I think that's what I did. Okay, so all that's happened here is the 3, I multiplied it by the 1 over x cubed, and so that's why it's like that. And then I just rewrote that like I said. And then I'm going to multiply by a giant 1. So there's a couple ways you can do this. If you don't want to do it this way, you can get a common denominator on the top and a common denominator on the bottom, and then you can flip and multiply, and things will cancel out really nicely. But I do like this nifty little trick. So what I've done is I just wrote these over 1 like this, and my giant 1 is going to just be, it's x cubed over x cubed, but I just put the 1 under there just to make it really obvious that I'm doing fraction math. I put the 1s. Okay, so x cubed over 1 times 3 over x cubed, hopefully you can see those, that gets rid of my x cubed. So that's just going to end up being 3. And then when I have to distribute. And then so the x cubed times the 4x is going to give me 4x to the 4th. Okay? And then I'm going to do it down here also. X cubed times 2x is going to give me 2x to the 4th. And then this x cubed times x squared, this is like x times x, but this is x times x times x. So they're going to cancel, and this is just going to be x. Okay, and that's actually just, that's the end. There, you can't, there's no more simplifying to do.